Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of LAKERS, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Lakers news. LeBron James shares powerful advice for players reaching the NBA Finals. Few players in NBA history know the final stage like LeBron James. Tied with Lakers legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron has made an incredible 10 trips to the NBA Finals, making him one of the most seasoned voices when it comes to playing under the league's brightest lights. But in today's NBA, the Finals experience goes far beyond basketball. With intense media coverage, packed schedules, and non-stop obligations, it can feel overwhelming, even for the most seasoned athletes. On a recent episode of the Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash, LeBron opened up about what it really takes to navigate the chaos of the finals, and the advice he gives to anyone lucky enough to make it there. Over the years, I've had a lot of conversations with my teammates about how to manage your time, because there's so much downtime. Like you said, there are 2 days between games, and sometimes you're flying just for media day. They shut the whole arena down, set up tables, and you just sit there. It feels like All-Star Weekend all over again. And it can be frustrating. But if there's one piece of advice I'd give, it's this: as annoying as it can be, make the most of it. Because this moment, it's not guaranteed. Like you said, you're not promised to get here every year, or ever again. So enjoy it, but don't lose sight of why you're here. That's something I learned from Pat Riley. He always said, keep the main thing the main thing. We're here for a reason. We have a job to do. So yes, enjoy the ride, but stay focused. If you can do that, you gain an edge that maybe your opponent doesn't have. LeBron emphasized that these next 4 wins are the hardest ones to get, and they might be the toughest games of a player's life. The distractions, the pressure, and the spectacle can easily throw you off track if you're not locked in. I've heard NFL guys say they hated the Super Bowl, even the ones who won, because it didn't feel like a real game. It felt like a business, a media show. And sometimes, the finals can feel the same way. But here's the truth, it's still fun. It's one of the greatest experiences of your life, if you approach it the right way. In an environment where every camera is on you and every moment is magnified, focus is your superpower. That's the mindset LeBron believes separates champions from contenders. LeBron James doesn't think market size should define the NBA Finals. While LeBron has played in 2 of the league's biggest markets, Los Angeles and Miami, he spent half his career in Cleveland, a smaller market by comparison. So when teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder or Indiana Pacers make the finals, it's not something he looks down on. For LeBron, the storylines and the players themselves are what make the finals exciting, not the size of the city behind them. It shouldn't matter where the team is from. A great story is a great story. Talent, heart, chemistry. Those are the things that draw people in. I've got a lot of respect for teams that come from smaller markets and still fight their way to the top. At the end of the day, the finals are about legacy, not location. And for LeBron James, that's what keeps the game pure, no matter the stage, no matter the city. LeBron James, a legacy beyond the spotlight. As the NBA Finals approach, the landscape has shifted dramatically. The anticipated clash between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics has been replaced by an unexpected and thrilling matchup between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. This marks the first time in NBA history that both finalists hail from smaller markets, challenging the traditional narrative that championship contenders must come from major media hubs. LeBron James, a seasoned veteran with a wealth of experience in the finals, has been vocal in his support for these underdog teams. On his podcast, Mind the Game, he lauded Tyrese Halliburton of the Pacers for his exceptional leadership and playmaking abilities, which have been instrumental in propelling Indiana to their first-ever finals appearance. James emphasized the importance of embracing the journey and maintaining focus amidst the distractions that come with such a significant stage. TimesofIndia.indiatimes.com. This shift in the finals narrative is a testament to the NBA's evolving landscape, where parity is becoming more prevalent. The league's recent initiatives, such as the play-in tournament and changes to the salary cap structure, have leveled the playing field, allowing teams from smaller markets to compete at the highest level. While some critics argue that this may affect television ratings and mainstream appeal, Others celebrate the emergence of new stars and fresh storylines that captivate true basketball fans. For LeBron, this evolution is a reflection of his own journey. From his early days with the Cleveland Cavaliers to his championships with the Miami Heat and Los Angeles Lakers, James has experienced firsthand the challenges and rewards of playing in both major and smaller markets. His perspective underscores the idea that success is not determined by market size but by talent, teamwork, and resilience. As the 2025 NBA Finals unfold, the spotlight is on the Pacers and Thunder. The series promises to deliver exciting basketball and compelling narratives that resonate with fans across the globe. In this new era of the NBA, the storylines are as diverse as the cities and players that comprise the league, and LeBron James continues to be a guiding voice, offering wisdom and insight to the next generation of stars. NBA source says Lakers trade for former Warriors champion, checks a lot of boxes. The Los Angeles Lakers could be on the verge of making a key move that sets them up for a deeper playoff run, and maybe even title contention. According to league sources, the team is eyeing a potential trade for former Golden State Warriors champion Andrew Wiggins, a move one insider believes would check a lot of boxes. After a 50-win season that ended in disappointment with a first-round playoff exit against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Lakers are focused on reshaping their roster. Their biggest priority? Shoring up the front court, especially at the center position. Utah Jazz big man Walker Kessler, long admired by Lakers brass, is reportedly available. There's also buzz around Lauri Markkanen, whose ability to stretch the floor and defend multiple positions could provide the Lakers with a much-needed upgrade. But front court help isn't the only need. LA is also lacking reliable two-way wings, a glaring weakness that was exposed under postseason pressure. That's where a player like Andrew Wiggins comes in. Could Andrew Wiggins be the missing piece? During a recent Q&A on his YouTube channel, The Athletic's Jovan Buha addressed rumors linking Wiggins to the Lakers in a potential trade that would involve Rui Hachimura. Buha gave the idea a thumbs up. "I really like that trade." Wiggins has been a fan favorite on Lakers Twitter for a reason. Among realistic options, I think he fits what they need on both ends of the floor. Wiggins, who was traded from the Warriors to the Miami Heat in February, brings playoff experience, defensive versatility, and the ability to create offense in isolation or within a system. He's under contract for $28.2 million next season, with a player option worth $30 million for 2026. Hachimura, meanwhile, enters the final year of his deal at $18.2 million. Any trade involving the Heat would need to match salaries, as the Lakers are operating above the salary cap and want to avoid the harsher penalties of the new CBA's first apron. What about Rui Hachimura? Buha also made a point to defend Hachimura, noting that while Rui has played solid basketball, his value has been complicated by the roster structure. This isn't a knock on Rui. I actually think he was the Lakers' fourth best player this year. But he's been forced into tough defensive matchups, guarding guys like Anthony Edwards or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's not really his game. The issue isn't effort. It's fit. Hachimura's natural position is power forward, but with both LeBron James and Luka Dončić, a hypothetical incoming star frequently linked to LA in trade speculation, occupying similar roles defensively, Rui often ends up playing out of position. Rui's biggest challenge is one that's out of his control. The team structure just doesn't align with his strengths. Tough decisions ahead for the Lakers. As the offseason heats up, the Lakers front office faces difficult choices. Both Rui Hachimura and Austin Reaves are entering the final year of their contracts. Reaves, in particular, may be hard to retain long-term. The Lakers can offer only $89.2 million, likely far less than what he could get in free agency. The team is now at a crossroads. Who do you keep to build around your stars? And who do you move to maximize the window of opportunity with LeBron James and potentially Luka Dončić? Wiggins, despite a down season, could bring exactly what LA needs: defensive toughness, championship pedigree, and a skill set that fits like a glove next to LeBron. But pulling the trigger would mean saying goodbye to a fan favorite. With the margin for error razor thin, the Lakers have no room for sentiment. The goal is clear: build a team that can compete now, before the window closes. Lakers' strategic moves, balancing legacy and future. The Los Angeles Lakers' off-season strategy is a delicate balancing act between honoring their storied legacy and building a competitive future. The potential acquisition of Andrew Wiggins, a seasoned wing with championship experience, aligns with the team's immediate goal of contending for another title. However, The Lakers are also mindful of the long-term implications of their roster decisions. The trade involving Luka Dončić, which sent shockwaves through the NBA, exemplifies the Lakers' commitment to securing elite talent. Doncic's arrival in Los Angeles has been met with both excitement and scrutiny, as the team now faces the challenge of integrating him into a system that has long been centered around LeBron James. This move underscores the Lakers' willingness to make bold decisions in pursuit of greatness. As the offseason progresses, the Lakers front office continues to evaluate potential trades and signings that will bolster the team's depth and versatility. The rumored four-team deal involving the Chicago Bulls, Toronto Raptors, Milwaukee Bucks, and the Lakers is one such example. While details remain scarce, the potential addition of a $20 million star from the Bulls could provide the Lakers with the scoring punch and defensive prowess needed to complement their existing roster. In parallel, the Lakers are addressing internal matters, including contract extensions for key players like Austin Reeves and Luka Dončić. Securing these extensions is crucial for maintaining team cohesion and ensuring that the Lakers can continue to build around their core players. Ultimately, the Lakers' off-season decisions will shape the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. By carefully navigating the complexities of roster construction and player development, the Lakers aim to remain at the forefront of the NBA, balancing the pursuit of immediate success with the cultivation of a sustainable and prosperous future. MVP season incoming. NBA fans buzzing over Luka Doncic's intense off-season grind. NBA fans are buzzing with excitement after seeing Luka Dončić putting in serious work at the gym ahead of the new season, and many believe he's finally addressing the one thing that's been holding him back for years. There's no question Luka has all the tools to be a generational NBA superstar. He's already delivered incredible performances and shattered records. But ask any fan or analyst, and they'll tell you, he still has another gear. The missing piece? His conditioning. For years, Luka has faced criticism for not being in peak shape, especially when it matters most. That's why fans were thrilled to see a noticeably leaner Doncic during a recent appearance at a Real Madrid game. He looked quicker, lighter, and more locked in than he has in a long time. Of course, it's not just about shedding pounds. Legends like Paul Pierce and Gary Payton have both urged Doncic to step up defensively, calling out a lack of effort on that end as a major gap in his game. But to defend at a high level, your body has to be ready. And this offseason, it looks like Luka finally got the message. A now viral video shows Luka deadlifting over 300 pounds in the gym, sending social media into a frenzy. Fans were stunned and impressed to see him taking his physical prep this seriously. One excited fan simply wrote, "MVP season." Another added, "Thank you to the haters for giving him someone to prove wrong." Even Lakers fans are getting hyped about the possibility of Doncic joining their squad in peak form. One commented, "First time I've ever seen Luka lifting. We're winning it all next season." Another predicted, "At least 10 dunks coming. Watch out." Of course, not everyone's convinced. One skeptical fan compared Luka's gym videos to Ben Simmons' infamous open-court workouts. "Let's see some lateral defensive drills," another replied, hinting that effort on defense still needs to match the hype. And they're not wrong. Defense remains the area where Luka has the most room to grow. His best defensive season came in 2021-22, when he posted a 106.5 defensive rating. Since then, he hasn't come close to matching that level. But if Luka can find that defensive spark again, especially now that he's rumored to be joining LeBron James in LA, the Lakers could become downright terrifying. Being around a leader like LeBron, who's maintained elite physical form deep into his 30s, could be exactly the push Luka needs. Doncic turns 26 this year. He's entering his prime. And if he commits to taking care of his body and defending with the same fire he brings on offense, this might not just be the best version of Luka we've ever seen, it could be an MVP year in the making. What's even more exciting is how this off-season transformation could shift the entire NBA landscape. Luka's dedication to improving his conditioning and defense isn't just about individual success, it could redefine what the Lakers bring to the court next season. Imagine a team led by LeBron James and Luka Dončić, combining LeBron's veteran leadership and relentless work ethic with Luka's offensive brilliance and newfound physical readiness. The buzz around Luka's progress has already sparked a wave of speculation among analysts and fans alike. Some experts predict that if Doncic shows up in this shape and with a renewed defensive mindset, he could not only earn MVP honors but also lead the Lakers to a championship run. That's a game changer for a franchise hungry for its first title in years. Social media is also lighting up with reactions. Clips of Luka's gym sessions and defensive drills are circulating, with hashtags like #LukaLevelUp and #MVPWatch trending worldwide. Fans are energized, and even some former NBA stars have chimed in, praising his commitment while urging him to maintain the momentum. But the pressure is on. Luka knows the expectations are higher than ever. This offseason isn't just a chance to get in shape, it's an opportunity to silence doubters who have questioned his defensive effort and consistency. The spotlight will be even brighter once the season tips off, and every move he makes on both ends of the floor will be scrutinized. Yet, if this dedication holds, Luka could inspire a new generation of players to prioritize conditioning and defense just as much as offensive skill. His journey could become a blueprint for how stars evolve in today's NBA, blending raw talent with hard work and discipline. Off the court, this renewed focus might also boost Luka's marketability. Endorsements and brand deals often follow MVP-caliber performances, and companies love athletes who embody growth and resilience. For Luka, this could be the beginning of a new chapter both as a player and as a global icon. Ultimately, the coming season will be Luka Doncic's proving ground. Will he rise to the challenge, showing the world he's not just a scorer or playmaker but a complete player? Fans, analysts, and teammates are all watching closely, and if his off-season work is any indication, Luka might just be ready to answer that call in a big way. Luka Dončić putting in the work. A new chapter begins in LA. Luka Dončić is heading into his first full off-season as a Los Angeles Laker, and it comes at arguably the most pivotal point of his career. After a surprising mid-season trade from the Dallas Mavericks, critics were quick to point out concerns about his defense and conditioning as reasons behind the move, despite the backlash it triggered from fans in Dallas and around the league. Once the playoffs arrived, those concerns became hard to ignore. The Lakers fell in the first round to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Luka's fitness and defensive effort were front and center in the post-mortem. That said, ask anyone in the Lakers front office, and they'll tell you, they'd make that trade 100 times out of 100. Luka's talent is generational, and he's exactly the kind of player you build a future around. But even the brightest stars need to evolve. And Luka seems to understand that. Focused and fired up. Recently, Luka appeared noticeably leaner in public, and he shared a video of himself grinding in the weight room, pushing through an intense workout, sweat dripping, eyes locked in. It was posted via Clutch Points and quickly made waves among Lakers fans and NBA insiders. Off-season workout videos are nothing new, especially for a player under the spotlight. But this one felt different. This wasn't about hype. This was about purpose. For Luka, this off-season isn't just about getting in shape, it's about silencing the noise, proving doubters wrong, and taking ownership of what's next. The Lakers believe in him. Rob Pelinka and the front office see him as the centerpiece of their future, a franchise cornerstone for the next decade. A star with something to prove. What makes Luka special isn't just his talent, it's his mindset. When called out, he responds. When challenged, he locks in. That killer instinct, the one that made him a superstar in Dallas, is still very much alive. And if he's this committed in June, there's every reason to believe he'll come back in October with a vengeance. The Lakers didn't just trade for a playmaker. They traded for a fighter. And they're already seeing signs that this partnership could be something special. The fallout in Dallas. Of course, not everyone welcomed the trade. In Dallas, the reaction was a mix of disbelief, frustration, and outright protest. Fans were furious. The front office, especially GM Nico Harrison, came under fire. Many questioned how the team could let a player like Luka go, someone who had become the face of the franchise before turning 26. Even Mavericks legend and former coach Don Nelson couldn't hide his disapproval. During a press conference before Game 2 of the NBA Finals, where he was honored with the prestigious Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award, he made a pointed statement. By the way, I want everyone to know I'm wearing Luka's new Nike sneakers. Just came out. And I'm wearing them in protest of that trade. It was a moment that captured how deep Luka's impact had been in Dallas, and just how shocking his departure was. The next chapter. But now, Luka has a fresh start. A new city, a new team, and a new chance to reshape the narrative. He's not running from the pressure, he's training through it. And if this offseason is any indication, he's not just coming back stronger. He's coming back to lead. The Lakers made their bet. Luka is making his statement. And the rest of the NBA? They've been warned. A city ready for a star rebirth. In Los Angeles, the reaction to Luka Doncic's arrival was electric. LakersNation, always hungry for greatness, saw the move as a bold era-defining swing. While some questioned the timing and the fit, most recognized the upside. The Lakers had acquired a 25-year-old superstar with MVP-caliber talent, and gave themselves a runway to remain relevant well beyond the twilight of LeBron James' career. Still, expectations are sky-high. In LA, it's not enough to be a star, you have to win. And fast. That's exactly why Luka's off-season grind is being watched so closely. His commitment to transforming his body and retooling his game is being seen not just as a personal redemption arc, but as the beginning of a new Lakers dynasty. Media response. From doubt to cautious optimism. Sports media has been divided. Initially, the trade was framed as a high-risk, high-reward gamble. Pundits pointed to Luka's inconsistent conditioning in Dallas, late-game defensive lapses, and at times strained relationships with teammates. But now, with footage of his workouts surfacing and whispers from within the Lakers organization about his improved mindset, the narrative is slowly shifting. ESPN analyst and former NBA guard J.J. Redick recently said, "Look, we've always known Luka's talent was off the charts. But this version of Luka? Focused, humbled, motivated? That's scary. If he leans into this opportunity in LA, he could go down as an all-time great, not just a highlight reel." Others, like Stephen A. Smith, have warned fans not to jump the gun, reminding everyone that postseason success in the Western Conference is never guaranteed, especially with powerhouses like Denver, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City in the mix. Still, even skeptics are starting to admit, if Luka really shows up in elite shape, the Lakers could be back in title contention as early as next season. Behind the scenes, Lakers rebuilding around Luka. Internally, the Lakers front office is already pivoting toward building a more Luka-centric roster. Reports suggest Rob Pelinka is targeting two-way wings and athletic bigs who can space the floor and complement Doncic's high-usage playmaking. The coaching staff, too, is said to be working closely with Luka's camp to design a system that maximizes his creativity without overburdening him physically. There's also a renewed focus on locker room culture. Sources close to the team say there's been an intentional effort to surround Luka with veteran voices and strong leaders, players who can help shoulder the leadership load and foster a winning environment. The Dallas fallout continues. Meanwhile, the backlash in Dallas hasn't quieted down. As the Mavericks try to retool around Kyrie Irving and a younger supporting cast, the ghost of Luka's departure still lingers. Attendance dipped slightly after the trade, and merchandise sales took a notable hit. Even among players, there's been a ripple effect. Rumors have emerged that some veterans were caught off guard by how abruptly the trade happened. And with Don Nelson's public protest still making headlines, it's clear that the decision has left deep scars within the franchise. The bigger picture, a career-defining off-season. For Luka, this summer is more than just an off-season, it's a turning point. He's no longer the prodigy from Europe lighting up Dallas. He's the face of one of the most storied franchises in all of sports. And he knows it. The gym sessions. The diet changes. The film study. The silence on social media. It's all intentional. He's not just chasing greatness, he's reinventing himself to meet it. Because in LA, legends aren't born, they're made. And Luka Doncic is working like a man who wants his name in the rafters.